Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive.
Always.
This time, we're going to try to understand the world of young samurai training in feudal Japan.
Okay.
We've got some really interesting historical texts and research. Hopefully, it'll give us a good idea about what their lives were really like. And it's pretty amazing. I mean, these kids started training basically from the time they could walk.
Yeah.
I mean, is that really the ultimate way to create a warrior?
Yeah.
Or did it come at a cost, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Like a normal childhood? I don't know. Let's find out.
Yeah, let's dig in. So what really fascinates me about this topic is how it changes what we think we know about the samurai. I mean, we tend to picture them as these stoic, battle-hardened warriors, and that's partly true. But what we're going to see is that their training was about so much more than just fighting.
Yeah.
It was really about shaping their entire being, mind, body, and spirit.
Okay, so imagine this.
Right.
We've got a kid barely out of diapers. And they're already on the path becoming a samurai.
Yeah.
What did their daily routine
what did that look like?
actually look like?
Well, their day started at the crack of dawn.
Oh.
I mean, literally.
Really?
They'd begin with these cleansing rituals.
Okay.
And it wasn't just about hygiene. It was also about cultivating this mental clarity and discipline.
Okay, so starting the day off
Right from the beginning.
Okay.
Then it was on to breakfast.
Okay.
Think simple. Rice.
Okay.
Pickled vegetables and fish.
Okay.
So pretty basic. Yeah.
But a diet designed to fuel all that demanding training they were doing.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, mornings were dedicated to just intense martial arts practice.
Hours and hours.
Right.
Yeah.
They'd spend hours, honing their skills in kenjutsu,
which is
the art of the sword, Kyudo, which is archery, and then jujitsu. That's unarmed combat.
It's really interesting because it's not just about building physical strength.
Right.
It's also mental fortitude, discipline, and precision.
Right. It's interesting because you have to remember these kids were training from dawn until dusk.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine?
It's just constant.
That level of commitment,
right?
It really shows just how deeply ingrained
part of their culture.
The warrior ethos was in their culture.
Absolutely.
But you know what? It does make you wonder.
I know.
Did they ever get a break?
Yeah. Did they have any fun? I mean,
you'd think after all that physical exertion, they'd get some downtime.
Right. You'd think so.
But nope. After that, it was time to hit the books.
They hit the books.
And we're not talking about,
like
your typical
no
children's stories here.
This is serious stuff.
They were studying classics, like The Tale of Genji.
Right.
And The Tales of the Hike, Japanese literature.
Yeah. And these stories weren't just for entertainment either. They were carefully chosen to teach. Yeah, to instill these values of honor and loyalty and bravery.
So it's interesting how they wove those values into every aspect of their training.
It's pretty incredible.
Even something like
calligraphy.
Which you might think is just,
pretty handwriting.
Yeah, pretty handwriting.
Yeah.
But it was seen as an art form.
Yeah.
That reflected character.
Yeah.
It required focus. Patience, a steady hand, all qualities that would translate directly to swordsmanship and other skills.
So we've got intense physical training and then serious academic study packed into one day.
Packed in. Anything else?
Oh, of course. No samurai education would be complete without philosophy.
Right.
Particularly Zen Buddhism.
Okay.
Which is really central to
their spiritual development.
Okay.
And Zen emphasized meditation, mindfulness.
Right.
And finding inner peace.
Wait, peace?
Yeah.
In the middle of chaos.
Yeah, even amidst chaos. That seems... kind of contradictory
right.
for a warrior.
You would think, but that's what makes the samurai so unique. They weren't just trained to be killing machines.
Right.
Their education aimed to cultivate this balance between warrior spirit and inner tranquility.
Okay, so they believed that true strength came from
mastering both.
Okay, so now I'm really starting to see that this goes...
It goes way beyond...
Way beyond just
learning to fight.
Right.
Yeah.
But their day...
Day wasn't over yet.
Wasn't over yet, was it?
No, not even close.
What did they do after all that studying and training?
So evenings involved more martial arts practice, of course. Right. But they also dedicated time to things like music and poetry.
Can you imagine?
I know. Can you imagine
these tough warriors?
Right. After a day of sword fighting,
delicate haikus.
After a day of sword fighting.
Hard to picture.
It's kind of hard to picture.
But it does make them seem more human,
It does.
More well-rounded.
Well-rounded. And honestly, who wouldn't need a creative outlet? After all that training, I'd be reaching for a paintbrush or something.
I know, right? Just to unwind.
Just to unwind. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it was this real mix of physical discipline, intellectual study, and creative expression. Yeah. But weren't they also known? For being these
master strategists?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, their evenings often included games like Go.
Okay.
Which was
I love
more
game.
Than just a pastime. Yeah, it was a way to hone their tactical thinking, their decision making, and their ability to like anticipate their opponent's moves.
So I guess even their downtime had a purpose.
Yeah, they were.
It's like they were constantly sharpening their minds no matter what they were doing.
Exactly. And all of this, the physical training, the mental discipline, the artistic pursuits, all of it was underpinned by this concept known as Seishin Teki Kyoyo, which translates to spiritual refinement.
Spiritual refinement, okay.
Yeah.
So that sounds pretty profound.
It is.
What did that actually mean?
Yeah.
Like spiritual refinement.
Right. Like for a young samurai in training. Yeah. Well, it was about going beyond just learning the skills. It was about, developing their character.
Okay.
Cultivating this strong moral compass. And really embodying the principles of Bushido.
So
you can kind of think of it as
Shido, it wasn't just about being this fierce warrior. Yeah. It was like
it's a whole philosophy.
A whole philosophy of life.
Of life, yeah.
Okay.
And Bushido emphasized things like loyalty, honor, courage, justice, self-control.
So that's a pretty
high
bar to set,
especially for young kids.
Yeah.
But they really they wove these values into.
So how did they actually teach all of this?
Yeah.
I mean, was there like a specific...
Oh, so they had a
system.
Yeah, a system, a framework known as Bogeju Happen.
Okay.
Which means...
Bogeju Happen.
Okay. The 18 warrior arts.
Wow, 18.
18.
That sounds pretty intense.
It's a lot.
What were some of these arts? I mean,
besides the ones we talked about.
From the ones we've talked about already, yeah.
Yeah, so in addition to swordsmanship, archery, jiu-jitsu, the 18 arts also included things like horsemanship, spear fighting, Nejinata Jutsu, which is fighting with a pole arm.
Okay.
And even swimming.
Swimming.
Right.
I never would have guessed that.
Yeah, you wouldn't think of it, but...
Why was...
Well, think about it.
Yeah.
Battles could take place anywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Considered a warrior art?
Yeah. I mean, so including near rivers or lakes.
Right.
And being a strong swimmer could mean the difference between victory and defeat.
Right.
Or even life and death.
So it was about being prepared.
Prepared for anything.
For any situation.
Yeah.
But But you said it wasn't...
It wasn't just about physical skills, no.
Just about physical skills.
The 18 arts also included more strategic disciplines like learning, battlefield tactics, logistics, military history, and even etiquette.
Etiquette. I know you would.
Surprising that, would you?
For a warrior culture.
Right. But remember, the samurai weren't just brutes.
Right.
They were expected to be these refined individuals who could navigate these complex social situations with grace and diplomacy.
It's pretty amazing how this system,
it's incredible,
produced warriors that were not only
so skilled,
incredibly skilled,
but also
well-versed
in so many different
disciplines. They were like the Renaissance men.
The Renaissance men of Japan.
Yeah,
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
They really were individuals who embodied both
physical prowess
and intellectual
depth.
And that's what made them such
formidable
opponents.
Okay, so we've talked about the structure and the philosophy of their training. But what about the actual
what was it really like?
Do we have any insights?
So we do actually
into what it was really like for these young samurai.
Our source material gives us some fascinating glimpses into their daily routines and mindsets.
Okay.
So, for example, remember we talked about those simple meals?
Yeah.
Well, an emphasis on a balanced diet and cleanliness wasn't just,
I'm guessing,
about physical health.
There's a deeper meaning here.
There is.
Okay.
So they believed that physical purity reflected inner discipline and order.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like,
think of it like
they saw
polishing their armor.
Direct link.
Was also polishing their minds.
Right, between their outer world and their inner state.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you think that idea?
I think it still resonates.
Still resonates with us today.
Yes, today. I mean, we might not wear armor.
Right.
But we still talk about things like decluttering our minds or creating a peaceful environment.
Right.
It's that same idea of
so even back then, they understood this importance of this holistic approach to well-being. But what about their emotional control?
Right.
I mean, did they ever
did they ever
let loose? Yeah, did they ever let loose?
Or were they always expected stoic discipline?
To be stoic and disciplined.
Well, one of the things that's really remarkable about these young samurai was their ability to maintain their composure, even under extreme pressure. So our sources mention...
I mean, I can barely keep my cool when my internet connection is slow.
I know, right?
But seriously.
Yeah, but I mean, that
levels of self-control.
Of self-control is
pretty impressive.
Is impressive. How do you think they developed that? Well, it was a combination of factors, I think. I mean, their rigorous physical training taught them to, push their limits and endure hardship. Their study of Zen Buddhism emphasized mindfulness and emotional regulation. And then their cultural values, instilled the sense of duty and self-discipline from a very young age.
So it's like they were training their mind
to work together
and bodies to work in perfect harmony.
Yeah, in harmony.
Yeah, but all this talk about, discipline and control.
It makes you wonder.
Makes me wonder.
Yeah.
Did they ever get to be kids?
Yeah.
Did they have any fun?
That's a great question, and it's one that historians still debate today.
Okay.
But while their training was undeniably intense, they did have opportunities for play and recreation.
Okay.
Remember those evenings?
Yeah, but weren't you saying
practicing music and poetry.
That even those activities had like a strategic
purpose, right? But I think it's important to remember that for these young samurai, self-expression and skill development were
intertwined,
often intertwined.
Okay,
you know, I mean their culture valued beauty and artistry as much as it valued martial prowess.
So it wasn't all
drills and discipline.
No.
There was room.
There was also room for creativity and self-discovery as well.
Yeah. And even their strategic games like Go, you know, could be seen as a form of play.
Okay.
It was a way to
challenge
their minds,
right.
Socialize with their peers and have fun.
Yeah.
While honing their strategic skills.
But like they were finding ways to make even the most challenging.
They were turning discipline into a form of art.
Right. Of their training enjoyable.
Exactly.
They were turning discipline into a form of art.
And I think that speaks to the enduring legacy
of the samurai.
Yeah.
You know, they were more than just warriors.
Right.
They were artists, philosophers, strategists who embodied this unique blend of strength, grace, and intellectual depth.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've talked about their daily routines,
their philosophical
foundations, their training methods, even their moments of play.
Right.
But I'm still curious about one thing. That we know they placed a lot of emphasis on meditation. But how did that actually
how does that
fit into their warrior identity?
Right. How does that fit in? Yeah, that's a great question.
Right.
And it leads us to one of the most fascinating paradoxes of the samurai.
Of the coexistence of inner peace
Yeah.
and warrior spirit. So you mentioned this idea of the samurai embodying inner peace and warrior spirit.
Yeah, how do you reconcile those two seemingly opposite concepts?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's important to remember that for the samurai, meditation wasn't just about relaxation or stress relief.
Right.
It was really a tool for cultivating mental clarity, focus, and emotional control.
Right.
All essential qualities for a warrior facing the chaos of battle.
So it wasn't about denying their warrior nature.
It wasn't about denying it.
But rather like sharpening it.
It was about sharpening it.
From the inside out.
From the inside out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Think of it like this.
Okay.
A sword that's constantly clashing will eventually dull and break.
But a sword that's regularly sharpened and cared for can maintain its edge for a lifetime.
Right.
Meditation was their way of sharpening their inner sword.
That's a
so to speak
great analogy.
Yeah.
It makes sense that they would see meditation as a way to enhance their combat ability
rather than contradict it.
Rather than contradict them.
Yeah.
But it still seems like a pretty unique approach.
It is unique
for a warrior culture.
It is, and it speaks to you know, the depth and sophistication of their training. You know, like they understood that true strength wasn't just about
physical
power,
but also
it was also about mental resilience and emotional mastery.
So in a way, their training was preparing them not just for battle,
but
for life itself.
Yeah, for life itself.
Yeah.
This has been an incredible journey.
Yeah.
Exploring
it's amazing.
The world of young samurai training.
How much emphasis?
It's amazing to see how much
they placed on this.
Emphasis they placed on
holistic development.
Not
just martial skills.
It
really challenges.
It really challenges our modern perception of what it means. To be a warrior. They were individuals who embodied both
strength and refinement.
Discipline and creativity.
warrior spirit.
Warrior spirit.
And a peaceful heart.
And a peaceful heart. It makes you wonder what can
we learn from this?
Learn from their approach. Even today.
Even today.
Yeah.
We may not be training for battle.
For battle.
But I think there are some...
There are some timeless lessons.
Timeless lessons here.
Discipline. Resilience.
Resilience and
the importance of cultivating.
The importance of our inner...
and outer
both worlds. Our inner and outer worlds.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought to ponder. Sure. We've seen how the samurai cultivated this unique blend of warrior spirit. Warrior spirit. And inner peace. Inner peace. But how do you think this rigorous and holistic training shaped their society? Yeah, their society. As a whole. As a whole. Did it contribute to their successes? Or did it also have unintended consequences? Yeah. That's something to think about. Definitely something to think about. Until next time, keep exploring. Keep exploring. Keep learning. Keep learning. And keep diving deep.